What's up everyone, this is Mike from My Gadgets World, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the LG OLED C10 versus the LG OLED C1 motion settings. Okay, and we're going to see which one performs better when it comes to the fast motion. So before we get into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button on the channel, hit the like on this video because it helps me a lot to keep making the content for you all, and also comment below that what you want to see in my next video. Alright guys, so before any delay, let's just start the video. Okay, on the left side that is C10, on the right side this is C1, and we are playing the Ultra HD demo disc on the Oppo UDP-203 Blu-ray player, and it's outputting right now the Cinema HDR picture mode in front of you. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what settings are we in. So I'm going to hit the setting button on both the TVs, and you can see at the top right here we are in the Cinema HDR, and I'm going to go to the all settings and make sure I have turned off the motion smoothing and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go here in the advanced settings, and here I'll have to go, it's a little confusing, so here it's this setting right here. Okay, so motion is gonna be in the clarity, TrueMotion is off, and also on the other one, I don't know, it's the advanced control? No, it's the picture options. I know it's going to be a little confusing for, the people who are going from C10 to C1 to find where these settings are. Okay, so as you can see that TrueMotion is off on the both TVs, and we are just relying on TV's processing to handle the motion. And let's see how it does. So I have done some demos already, and I have found that it's just a tad bit difference in the LG OLED C10 versus LG OLED C1. C1 tends to handle that fast motion with ease. Like, I didn't see much judder happening as compared to C10. I mean, there is judder for sure because you are just letting TV to handle the motion now, and you have turned all that motion smoothing and all that judder reduction off, and now it's just relying on the TV itself to handle it. So I have realized on the C10 it's little jaggy, and on the C1 it's slightly better. I mean, it can't be just perfect motion because then you're looking into something that you do motion smoothing settings. So I'm gonna play some fast live ticker for you guys, so keep an eye on that and see how it looks. I don't know if my camera can justify that, but it was better on the LG OLED C1 than the LG OLED C10 in terms of motion. So I'm gonna go to the disk menu, and in the disk menu I'm gonna head down to the Blu-ray disc menu, and while it's loading I'm gonna go to the video processing, and I'm gonna start this stock ticker, and you're gonna see the fast motion on both the TVs. As you can see on the left side at the top, it's still jaggy as compared to the right side where we don't have that much judder happening on the LG OLED C1. So if I'm looking into motion and watching my movies which are shot in 24 FPS, the C1's gonna be performing better than the LG OLED C10, because look at the top ticker, and also the fastest one is at the bottom. So it starts the speed increase, like the top one is slow but it's still fast motion, and then we have the fastest one at the bottom. So in terms of like which one does better, I'll give it to C1, because if you look at the motion, it's more easier to eyes if we comparing it with the C10. So I'm gonna let it play for a few seconds. I don't know if you guys can see that because my camera is gonna be recording this footage in the 60 frames per second, but still it was better when I'm looking at it in person. The motion handling on the C1 is better than the motion handling on the C10. It's just a slightly better than the C10. It's not as crazy better that you can be like, oh, it's day-night difference, but that's how the motion is. It's just a slight difference always, So if we compare it with C10, we have better motion in C1. And then what you can do is we're gonna see when it gets better in motion. So I'm gonna go to the settings on both of these TVs, and we're gonna go into the all settings, and we're gonna do some motion adjustments here and see how it makes the difference. So we're gonna go here. I'm trying to use both the remote controls together, here, and we're gonna go clarity here, and in the other TV we have to go to the picture options, and we're gonna go to the TrueMotion. Okay, in the TrueMotion, now we have the TrueMotion off. We're gonna go and do it as, let's say, cinematic, what it does. Cinematic makes it a little clear. You can see that smoothing happening, but it's not really aggressive. So if you want the movies to be like movies, cinematic movement or cinema clear is the way to go. But still, I don't like that because it destroys my action scenes the way they should be. So I'm gonna go to the user selection, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna reduce this de-blur to all the way to 0. On both the TVs. Okay, and then I'm gonna start increasing the judder, de-judder or judder reduction, and see how it impacts. See, at the 2, it makes it clear to see, the live ticker. And if you keep going up, you're gonna have that very smooth motion, which will make it look like, that soap opera effect. So we don't want that, right? So where we have to adjust is where you have a right balance. So the right balance for me usually is around 3 to 4 on the LG OLED C10. So it's mostly at, because there's more judder, right? So I go around 4. But I think on the LG OLED C1, I'll have to settle at 3 maybe, because it looks almost equal here. So when I did my homework, this is how it was. On the LG OLED C10, I had to do more de-judder to reduce that judder, and on the C1, I didn't have to do much to control that. So that makes sense because the LG OLED C1 has better processor than the LG OLED C10. So it makes it better when it comes to fast moving scenes in movies. And I wish I could test that fast moving scenes in the movies and show you how it looks, but to avoid any kind of like copyright strikes, I would rather not do that and let you guys be the judge. Just watch this live ticker and see if you can tell the difference. LG OLED C1, I have put it on 2, and on the C10, I have it on 4. Let me go back and make sure that again. And they are at equal pace here. I applied it more on the LG OLED C10 and I applied less on the LG OLED C1, but they still look almost similar. All right, I'm gonna go to advanced setting here, cinema here. Picture options, clarity, TrueMotion. I think I'm gonna be expert using 2 remote controls together the way I'm going. Yeah, so I have de-judder set to 2 and I have de-judder set to 4 on the LG OLED C10. And this is the difference I'm getting. I can apply more to the C1, but I don't have to because they both look almost identical when it comes to the motion. So that also tells us that, the C1 is performing better than the C10 when it comes to motion. And why not? It has to perform better because it has better processor than what we had in the LG OLED C10. Okay, I'm gonna go to the main menu and see if I can play more content for you. Alright guys, you can see in this demo also we are at the 4D judder on the LG OLED C10 and we are on number 2, I think maximum level 2, yeah, on the LG OLED C1, and we have motion almost equal there. So it smooths it but very subtle because you don't want that soap opera effect. So I usually don't go above 5. 5 is my maximum, and that was on my LG OLED C10. On the C1, I think I don't have to go more than 2 or 3 maximum. This is confusing. It's advanced setting here and it's just different settings there, but it's gonna take time. But I know it's in clarity, and there it's in the picture options, and I'm on the user selection mode, and you can see that my de-judder is at 4 on the C10 and de-judder is at 2 on the C1, and they have almost equal motion. And I'm gonna turn it off now on C10, and also turn it off on the C1. So even at the off, I had better movements on the LG OLED C1 as compared to the LG OLED C10. Alright guys, so that's all I have from this video. Let me know in the comment section what else you would like to see, and also what do you think about the motion settings on the LG OLED C1. And I'll see you guys in another video. Until then, peace out, and don't forget to subscribe.